Today we are continuing notes on rational exponents. So for example number 4, we're going to start with the problem, the fifth root of 27 to the third power over the fifth root of 9 to the second power. We can't leave a radical in the denominator, so we need to rationalize it. So we need to multiply by something that will get us to the fifth power so that we can take the fifth root. So if I multiply by 9 to the third power with an index of 5, that's going to get me 9 to the fifth power, which will then simplify to 9. Back to this step. Since we multiplied the denominator by the fifth root of 9 to the third power, we also have to multiply the numerator by 9 to the third power fifth root. In the numerator then, I rewrote the 27 as 3 to the third power to the third power. So 3 to the third power to the third power is 3 to the ninth power. And then I changed 9 to the third power to 3 squared to the third power. So 3 squared to the third power is 3 to the sixth power. Now I have the same base, so I can add the exponents of 9 and 6 to get 3 to the 15th power. Well, if I'm taking the fifth root, the easiest thing to do is rewrite it as 3 to the fifth, 3 to the fifth, 3 to the fifth, take the fifth root. So each of these comes out of the fifth root and cancels. 2 of them will cancel with the denominator of 9, and we'll be left with 3. On to example number 5. For example number 5, we're starting with 9 to the power of 2.5, which is a decimal, so we rewrite it as 9 to the 5/2 power. The 2 becomes the root, the 5 becomes the power. So we take the calculator and we do 9 to the 5th power. So on your calculator, you're going to type in 9, use the caret, and then 5th power, hit the equal sign, and you will get 59,049. Then you want to take that number and take the square root. So you're going to hit second or shift on your calculator, hit the square root button, and then since that number is already in your calculator, you can just recall it by hitting second, answer, hit the equal sign, and you'll get 243. Please let me know if you need help doing that on your calculator. Now moving on to example number 6. So for example number 6, we're going to start with 1 over the third root of 4 all to the negative 3/2 power. When you have a negative exponent, you want to take your numerator and move it to the denominator, or in this case, your denominator and move it to the numerator. So we moved it up here and we get the third root of 4 to the 3/2 power. The easiest way to deal with that is to rewrite that as 4 to the 1/3 power raised to the 3/2 power. You're going to notice that the 3's will cancel, and you're left with 4 to the 1/2 power, which is the second root of 4, and you end up with 2. Example number 7. For example number 7, we're going to start with the square root of 8 times the third root of 4. So I wrote each of those with a base of 2. I know that 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 to the third power, and 4 is 2 to the second power. So I'm going to rewrite those in fractional or exponent form with fractional exponents. So this becomes 2 to the 3/2 power, and this one becomes 2 to the 2/3 power. If your bases are the same, you can take those exponents and add them together. In order to add them together, you have to have common denominator. Right now you have a denominator of 2 and a denominator of 3. So the common denominator is 6. To get 9/6, I went 2 into 6 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 goes into 6 twice, 2 times 2 is 4. Now with common denominators, you can add those exponents. You should get 2 to the 13 over 6. Then rewrite that in radical form. So you have the 6th root of 2 to the 13th. Since 13 does have 6th roots in it, I rewrote it as 2 to the 6th times 2 to the 6th times 2 to the 1st. Each of these two have one that comes out, so we need to multiply those together, and one left over stays inside. So the final answer is, simplified answer is 4 and the 6th root of 2. Thanks for watching.